Greetings, NASCAR enjoyers, and today's the day. It's Bristol, baby! Who do you think will take the Bristol sword? Well, let's take a look at the race to find out. Wait, Rick is in the top row. Yeah, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. to be more precise. You know what that means! Time to drink Sunny Delight. Our race begins with Alex Bowman leading, and Ricky is currently running in second. It's a four-way battle between Ty Gibbs, Denny Hamlin, RSJ, and Alex Bowman. Usually Larson dominates Bristol, but he only managed to jump up to fourth as of now. Also, I forgot to mention, Alex Bowman launched like a cannon to take the lead, so yeah, he got tired of being behind Kyle Larson, something that my friend, aka Christian, aka Rainmaker, mentioned on Discord, and yeah, he has a point. Currently, Bowman follows the Bristol train. Meanwhile, Jesse Love tries to get past Bushy, but Bushy won't go down without a fight. Tyler Reddick also gets loose. Kyle Larson manages to get past Denny for third. But Denny, being Denny, knows that he has to try everything he can to keep him behind. Hold up, wait a minute, Larson is in second, and they cut to commercial during that crucial moment. God damn it, Fox. I can tell that this is going to be another boring race. Good thing the Long Beach Grand Prix is going to be on. I'm just hoping for a caution to slow him down, and he starts lapping some cars. Yeah, I'm really starting to get Bass Pro Shops night race flashbacks here. Hamlin takes second. Finally, Larson has a worthy opponent, and their battle will be legendary once a caution comes out, or the second stage goes underway. Kyle Busch also hits the wall, but no cautions front out. Just like that, there's 20 to go on the first stage. Larson is being held back by Ryan Preece trying to stay on the lead lap. Just hope that Preece doesn't blow an engine. Holy crap, this just got exciting. Eventually, Kyle Larson manages to get past him, but Denny is catching up. Kyle Larson wins stage number 1. Like before, drivers have to choose their pit lanes as Bristol has 2 of them. Our first race off the pit road begins, and Kyle Larson keeps his winning streak. The stage caution ends with Kyle Larson cannonballing to the lead. What? Carson is in second? And Justin happens to be battling him for second as well. Well, Justin Haley, not Justin Allgaier. He doesn't race in the Cup Series that much, but Haley does. Meanwhile, we get an intense battle in the back, and Josh Berry wants to get past Brad Keselowski. Justin Haley is now in second. Oh no! Shane Van Gisbergen spins out and causes the first non-stage caution of the day. Yeah, Snap, Crackle, and Pop is right. SVG is done for. Also, John Hunter Nemechek loses a lug nut. Yeah, that's common. As the single lug hubs, while they do speed up pit times, they can also get loose, so the pit crews might need some more training on how to tighten those lug nuts. But I do prefer them over the 5 lug wheels, that's just my opinion though. Michael McDowell also gets penalized for going down pit road too fast and has to start in the back. And so, the caution ends with Kyle Larson jumping ahead, and Alex Bowman is now in second as Hamlin falls behind. Josh Bilicki also DNF'd as his car ran into some mechanical gremlins. Kyle Larson continues to hang on to his lead, and he is greeted by Ryan Preece yet again. Preece is now 2 laps down. Hamlin gets into a battle with Carson Hocevar for 4th. And we are starting to see some more tire dust as Bristol is known to be hard on the tires. And just like that, Larson takes a stage sweep as he just won the 2nd stage of the race itself. Hooray! We get our next race off of pit road, and the race only has 244 laps to go. Wow, that went by so fast. As expected, Kyle Larson continues his win streak off pit road. The 3rd and final stage begins with, yep, you guessed it, Kyle Larson leading. But Denny does seem to be catching up to him. Finally, we get our battle that we have been looking forward to. If Hamlin gets past Larson, then he'll get that Bristol sword. Shane Van Gisbergen also gets back into the race. Kyle Larson continues to lead as he now gained a huge lead gap over Denny Hamlin. Ty Gibbs also started catching up to Denny Hamlin. Alex Bowman DNFs as he has mechanical issues, and it's sad that his day had to end like this. But anyways, Kyle Larson's lead gap does start to shrink a bit, but if a caution happens, it'll shrink a lot. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who was in the front row, now gets a lap down. Here we go, Denny Hamlin. Denny starts catching up again. Taco Bell and Austin Cindric pit in early, and Ty Gibbs also joins in. And Denny also. And Denny pits in. More drivers come down to pit road. Denny and Larson are now neck and neck as they both have to deal with lap traffic and have hit it on different times. Blaney is now leading. Meanwhile, in the back, Denny starts catching up to Larson, and it seems that he changed his strategy, knowing that he's been behind him for nearly the entire race. He even swims past lap traffic, and like before, Preece is giving Larson a hard time. And, well, he's giving Hamlin a hard time as well. Yeah, Hamlin's trying to catch up to the lap traffic that usually gets drivers into a jam. But anyways, Reddick and Blaney start battling for the lead. Ryan Blaney starts pitting in, and Larson gets his lead back. Because Larson got caught up in lap traffic, his lead gap shrinks down significantly. Thus, Hamlin could possibly get past him and take the sword. But Larson does try to get a huge lead gap. A caution could change everything. Even with 14 to go, still no caution. But Larson does slip up and make a minor mistake. Yeah, he's just trying to push that car as hard as possible. And just like that, Kyle Larson wins again. Dang it, I really wanted Denny to win. The race is just like yesterday or Saturday's race as it gets a 6 out of 10. Yeah, well, the redeeming quality here is, well, it is an emotional win for Kyle Larson as, well, there was a sad story between Jon Edwards, and Jon Edwards, if you haven't known already, has just passed away, so it was an emotional win for him. Even though I barely knew Jon Edwards, it was still an emotional story to behold, but, well, it still doesn't change the fact that this was a really mid-race. I mean, it was not very fun to watch. It reminded me too much of the Bristol night race. I think the problem in Bristol, in my opinion, is, well, the track temperature and the fact that certain people are complaining that the cars are underpowered. 750 and 800 horsepower, in my opinion, is what should be considered good enough for the next-gen Cup cars. 1,000 horsepower, too much. Yeah, like, I know that 1,000 horsepower in the Cup Series car will make it completely undrivable because some people don't understand physics. Some people who are commenting on that and want 1,000 horsepower in the next-gen Cup car probably can't handle 700 or 800 on their own, unless through a lot of experience. But yeah, like, some people don't have common sense, and they usually forget that physics exists. I know that physics exists, and I do not like that. Yeah, I dislike that trend of cars have to have high horsepower in order to be considered fast. Yeah, like, it's something that me and another car YouTuber has gotten sick of. Moral of the story is, whenever Larson shows up at Bristol, you can expect him to win. Seeing him win at Bristol is like seeing Max Verstappen win the Japanese Grand Prix every year. There's no surprise, and you know he's going to win, but unlike Saturday's Bristol race, there was some excitement, but all excitement was killed off when Kyle Larson won. So yeah, another mid-race. No offense to the guy that did enjoy the race, as some people did enjoy this race, but seeing the same guy win the race every year gets boring. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. The good news is that we have the Long Beach Grand Prix, so let's move on to that race. Oh, and by the way, it's completely fine for the F1 cars to have high horsepower because it's supposed to be the highest form of racing, and the drivers are far more experienced than any other racing league. So yeah, let's move on to the Long Beach Grand Prix. Greetings, IndyCar enjoyers, and here we are with the second race. Last time we saw Alex Palou go back-to-back. Hopefully we'll see a different winner this time around. This time, Kyle Kirkwood and Colton Herta are in the top row. The crowd looks packed here. Good to see that some IndyCar races still have large crowds. And it makes sense for Long Beach, as it's one of the many crown jewels of IndyCar itself. Oh, looky here. Mario Andretti and Alonso Jr. are here to give off the command to start the engines. Awesome. Truly awesome. Here we go. Our race begins with Kyle Kirkwood leading and getting into a battle with Colton Herta. Joseph Newgarden gets into the pits immediately to get rid of his soft tires. Holy crap, Alex Palou jumps up to third after Herta gets loose, and then he's now in second. And then chaos ensues when Palou starts falling behind. Holy crap, this just got exciting. Holy crap, Christian Lundgaard is now in first and Scott Dixon is right behind him. Of course, the other drivers decide to pit in, and we do have our fair share of pit stops that will affect track position. This is so much better than thermal. Christian Lundgaard continues to lead, and his strategy is to stay as long as possible, hence why he has the harder compounds. Christian Lundgaard comes down to pit road and gives up the lead to Scott Dixon. Dixon now goes into the pits and Kyle Kirkwood is in the lead. Alex Palou comes down to the pits, and this time it seems that he won't be getting that 3 in a row. Well, that 3 in a row victory is what I meant to say. Long Beach is the track that'll make or break A1's day. Kyle Kirkwood then pits in and gives the lead to Christian Lundgaard. Colton Herta joins in. Scott Dixon also has a bit of trouble in the pits and has a slow pit stop which will cost him the race. Christian Lundgaard then comes down to the pit road, and Stingray Robb, of all drivers, is now in the lead. This will be great for Stingray Robb, as it will be the first time we got an underdog victory. Never mind, Kyle Kirkwood is now leading as Stingray Robb comes down to the pits. Joseph Newgarden also has seatbelt issues. A first for this year. If Kirkwood wins, we might get our first different winner of the year. Alex Palou decides to go down to the pits and is now 4th. And next to join in is Kyle Kirkwood. Both Kirkwood and the Spaniard get into a heated battle due to how long the pit road exit in Long Beach is. Like I said, Long Beach could make or break anyone's day. Even with that battle going on, Kiffin Simpson is currently leading until he decides to pit. And Joseph almost gets into the tire barrier as his seatbelt issues continue to persist. Yeah, it's just not looking good for Penske. All Kirkwood has to do is not make any mistakes and take the win. He does start catching up to lap traffic. With 12 to go, Kirkwood continues to lead. Meanwhile, in the back, Herta tries to get past Scotty Mack for 6th, but is running low on power for push-to-pass. Yeah, I forgot to mention, the push-to-pass system gives IndyCar drivers an extra boost of horsepower. It's pretty much like NOS and Fast and Furious. It's not like the DRS system. Well, it's kind of like an unrestricted DRS. Yeah, like, you don't have to be in a certain zone to use it. You just press a button, although you only get a little bit before it runs out. And yeah, that's how push-to-pass works. But unfortunately, they don't have it on the ovals because they believe that push-to-pass on the ovals is dangerous. Here we go. It's the final lap to this feel-good story. So far, Long Beach has been an excellent race and in my opinion has more excitement than the Bristol race that I also watched. It's now or never for Kyle Kirkwood to take the win and not mess up, because if he does, well, it'll cost him a race win. Yes, we finally get a good race out of the two, and it's not the NASCAR race this time around. See? I told you that not every IndyCar track is created equal. But anyways, this is great for Kyle Kirkwood. Even though Colton didn't win, it's still a deserving victory for Kyle Kirkwood, and we can rest easy now that Andretti Global finally has won its first race of 2025. Hopefully we'll get to see the same magic in Toronto. And this is why Long Beach and Toronto are the two best city tracks in IndyCar, but that's my opinion though. What do you guys think about this race? Did you like it or dislike it for the fact that Alex Palou just lost his first race of 2025? Let me know in the comments. For me, it gets a 9 out of 10 just for the fact that we finally get to see someone other than Alex Palou take a victory this year. But anyways, next weekend is Easter weekend, and there's no NASCAR races going on other than the Truck and Xfinity Series races at Rockingham, so no Cup Series race for you as it's Easter break. And I got my happy moment before Easter weekend. Just not in the NASCAR Cup Series though, and I'll be signing off. Here's the link to the Thermal Club IndyCar race along with yesterday's race. And you know the drill by now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell just in case you haven't already done so. Catch you guys next time. Peace out.